Hello there guys, today we're gonna create again LDS Linux download system, but our objective is to create the cheapest possible server that it's gonna download everything that you need and share it in the same time over the network as the SMB share. Today build is not gonna be based on the Raspberry Pi. Instead we're gonna use a BananaPi. This is the exact model that I'm using. This single board computer has two advantages. One, as you might already see, there is a SATA connection that allows us to connect a laptop hard drive. It has to be 2.5 inch, 3.5 inch, well, requires 12 volt rail, and we only have 5 volt rail here that we can use. Also, it has gigabit Ethernet on board, which is going to make all the sharing much faster. Of course, a new Raspberry Pi also has a gigabit Ethernet, but it happens I do not have the newest one, so I'm using this one instead. The price for it, so it's about 40 bucks. On top of that, I purchased a small cable, nicely connects everything together, which seems to look like that. Of course, the picture, I took it from the website, so it's not exactly the same BananaPi there on the picture, but well, it just shows you how it's supposed to look like when everything is connected. BananaPi, it's powered by 5 volt power supplier. I don't think it has to be 2 amps or anything like that. I believe I'm using something much less powerful, and it's still working okay, powering the hard drive also. So that's all about the hardware. Now let's take a look on the software side. So for this project we're going to use OpenMediaVault, which is a Debian distribution. This piece of software will turn your hardware into a fully functioning NAS device. It's web-based administrated, so it's kind of easy to approach, and that's our goal as well. So we don't really have to get into nitty-gritties of the command line or anything like that. When system is deployed, everything is managed by the graphical interfaces over the network via browser from any computer you have. So the BananaPi stays headless, so it has no monitor. It just sits somewhere in your closet connected to a network. You forget about how it looked like, and it's supposed to do the job seamlessly. And of course, if you're using something like Kodi, when everything is getting downloaded, Kodi informs you what's new and what changes. How are we going to do that? So first of all, we'll have to download an image of the OpenMediaVault. So if you're going to go to my website here, and I'm going to put the link under the video. So basically you landed in this website and in this page, and basically there is a link to download to SourceForge, and basically you go to here, OpenMediaVault, and you're looking for BananaPi, which is supposed to be somewhere here. And there we go. There are also different ones on the bottom, but they are different BananaPi models, and we're gonna use the most kind of universal one, which is this one. I'm not gonna download it right now, as I already did, and I have that over here. I also not gonna show you how to put ISO image into SD cards, as probably everyone knows how to do it. Okay, so we have our SD card already put into BananaPi slot. I'm just gonna power my BananaPi right now. So I'm just gonna stick the power cable into a socket, so the little light just comes up, and that means it's booting. We have to wait a little bit. So first you have to find out what your IP address is of the BananaPi. It happens I know exactly what IP address it's going to be, as my router sensing its MAC address and gives a specific IP address that I wanted it to have all the time. So I know it's going to be 192.168, 100 and 150. So let's see if this is already, but without, of course, this port, just like that. So we'll see if it's going to show us anything. It might take some time, but well, there we go. The default web username and password is also listed on my website in here. So if you're going to scroll down and just go into that section, and you have two different, you have a web and you have SSH. So there are two different things. So first is the admin and OpenMediaVault as a password, and when we're gonna use PuTTY, it's going to be a different user. So let's go back in here, log on as admin and OpenMediaVault as a password. I'm just going to save it for the future. We're going to do two things in here straight away. We're going to go to general settings. Actually, we are on the general settings, and we're going to change this to disabled, and we're going to save that, and of course we're going to apply the changes. Yes, so it doesn't really times out all the time, as we're not going to see this quite often, or we're not going to look at this all the time. Then we're going to go to SSH, and we're going to enable SSH in here. Just one thing to mention while we're doing that: your BananaPi will reboot without you doing anything else, and it's going to happen roughly about like 2 minutes since the first boot. Not exactly sure if this is just because we enable SSH, or is there any other different reason for it, but we're going to wait for this to apply itself, and we're going to go to PuTTY. As a first logon, it's going to require us to change the password, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why the BananaPi reboots for the first time. So PuTTY, as I said, I already know what the IP address it's going to be, so it's 150 in here, so I'm gonna open the PuTTY. We have to agree to that. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger so you can see better. I'm gonna change the font size to 14 maybe, in bold, so you can see very good. And we're gonna maximize this window. So log on, of course, root, not admin this time, and the password is the same. So OpenMediaVault. I hope I typed this correctly. No, I didn't. Maybe now. There we go. So it asks you to put the current password. Well, as you see, the BananaPi just rebooted without me doing anything else. So it seems like enabling SSH or whatever initial processes are running on this distribution of OpenMediaVault requires BananaPi to reboot. So we lost connection, which is fine. We're just gonna wait a little bit, and we're gonna restart session. The same, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be done in here. So it's gonna be a message that have to log on again. See, the BananaPi is still booting, so it might not get any anything out of it. We have to just wait. There we go. I'm gonna log on once again, and we're gonna restart session here one more time. And there we go. So again, root. OpenMediaVault, There we go. Again, OpenMediaVault. And it's asking for a new password. It cannot be very simple, so just gonna put it something here. There we go. And now, very important things, because do not start the script yet, because this distribution of BananaPi, it does something of its own, and it's going to block component in Linux that are responsible to installing packages and so on. So we want this BananaPi to be pretty quiet, do whatever needs to be done. And how you will know, basically in my case it takes about 30 minutes to do whatever initially needs to be done. It's not going to reboot anymore, but when you're going to have a look in here and we're going to go to system informations, we're going to see the CPU utilization. For the moment is nothing, and then jumps up, and we're going to go to processes, and in here we're going to see that the CPU utilization is 100% and the BananaPi is doing something of its own, and we can just refresh it from time to time, and we have to wait for this to kind of go back, that we only see, for example, this process taking maybe 10% and nothing else. You can also type in here htop to see exactly the same in real time and monitor. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but at some point you're gonna see here, you're gonna see an update here going through the installation and so on. So wait until this is completed. So I'm gonna pause the video right now, and we're gonna come back when this BananaPi is done with whatever is actually doing. Okay guys, and we are back. As you can see, BananaPi is basically quiet right now. It doesn't do much, nothing is happening really. So only htop, as I said, it's taking some CPU time. So we're gonna quit that, and we're back to command line over the PuTTY. I'm gonna jump into a website. We did all of that. One thing, that is also applicable if you don't want to use external hard drive and you have a massive SD card that you want to use for data storage. This is how you're going to expand your SD card to be much bigger than initially system actually takes to work with, as initially it's just a 7 gigs and it doesn't really even need as much. I'm pretty sure 2 gigs is enough for this to function, but in my case I don't really care how the SD card is done by the system. I'm gonna use the hard drive, external hard drive, for all of my data storage, and the SD card is only used for a system to sit on. So now we're going to scroll to script deploy. I've tested the script as best as I could, but of course it might happen it's not going to work as intended. There might be some problems after a certain amount of time is passed, as of course new packages are getting published and so on. Today, as for November 2018, everything seems to be work fine, as you're gonna see. So I'm just gonna copy that link, and I'm gonna go back to PuTTY, and we're gonna download just like that. This is gonna take a few seconds, I hope. There we go. So we're gonna take a look. The script is here, so we're going to change the proper permissions for it, just like that. Let's see if it changed. Yes, it's executable right now, and the simplest possible way to deploy the script, just like that, and you wait. And trust me, it's gonna take a long time. For me, it took about an hour to deploy. Don't be tempted to click and check and do anything. It's gonna stop from time to time for much longer period of time than you might think. But hopefully at the end of it, you're gonna see results that I'm gonna see later on. I'm not gonna keep this video rolling for an hour, of course. I'm just gonna pause it right now, and we're gonna come back to it when the script is completed. The way that you can find out if the script is running or not, probably the simplest, is going to be going into OpenMediaVault GUI here, and just refresh the processes tree, and you're going to see that, well, for the moment not much is happening, but now the Python is taking the CPU. Basically, there are some processes that are running in the background, and this is gonna take some time. When this script is finished, probably I'm gonna finish also the section. Just to summarize, I'm gonna open all the services. So it's gonna be Jackett, Deluge, Sonarr, Raddarr, and headphones, just to show you that they're actually responding and everything is fine. And next section is going to be how you're going to configure this, starting from how you prepare network share on the OpenMediaVault, then how you configured Jackett, how you configured your torrent client, how you configured all together Sonarr and Raddarr to work with Jackett and the torrent client, just to make all of this functioning properly, so you can forget about that and just benefit of the system of its own. Alright, so I'm gonna stop it or pause it video right now, and we're gonna see when the script is completed. And we are back. Script completed its job, and that's how it's supposed to look like when it's done. At the bottom, you're going to be presented with all the links that you can use in the browser to find out if the services that were installed are actually running as it says they are. And that's exactly what we are going to do. We are back to a browser. The OpenMediaVault NAS still shows it's working. The CPU utilization is pretty low. That means, well, whatever was happening there, it's done. So I'm gonna open new tab in here. I save all of these links as a bookmark, so you can see the IP addresses are exactly the same and the ports are exactly the same as these here. So I don't have to copy them or paste it or anything like that. So now we're just gonna see if all of it is working. So Jackett maybe first. So we're essentially connecting from my local laptop into a BananaPi over the network and checking if the service is actually running or not. So Jackett is working, Sonarr also, then Raddarr also works, and headphones, there we go. Deluge, that's a torrent client, and it requires to log on, which password is Deluge. There we go. Do we want to save it? Well, yeah. Do we want to change it? No. And here we can see that the torrent daemon it's stopped, so we have to start it, and you're gonna do it just the first time. I believe it's gonna start automatically since now forever. Even if you're gonna reboot your BananaPi, everything gonna be back as is. All the services gonna be started. So we're here and we're gonna connect, and we are connected, so we can add torrents, whatever you wanted to do. So that's it as a deployment. All the services are there. Now is just a matter of a configuration. So I'm gonna stop this part as a first section. Next section is gonna be probably switch into two of them. First, it's gonna be configuration of OpenMediaVault. So how we going to proceed in order to make use of our hard drive that we have attached to the BananaPi. So the drive is here. Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's here. That's the Toshiba drive I have. It's not the big, but well, it's gonna be big enough for what I'm intended to use. We're gonna create some share out of that. This share gonna be utilized by Sonarr, Raddarr, and torrent client to put episodes, movies, whatever we want them to download into specific place and name it specifically as we want, and that's going to be shared via network to your smart TV or laptop or whatever you have. So that's what we're going to do next. So thank you for now, and see you in the next video.